Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to my channel. And last time I did like a commentary video, it was my Stop Bullying Widowmaker. Yeah, and I was super sick, so now I'm not. So that's all fun, but I don't really do these a lot, but it's a question I get quite often, whether it's through messages or after games, and that is, how do you play Widowmaker? If you don't know already, I am PS4. I've been PS4 my entire life. I played PC once. Actually, I have a video of that, and of me playing Widowmaker on PC. It's garbage, because I didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, so this video is going to be about, it's just going to be me giving a little bit tips that I can give to either Widow mains that want to get better themselves, or aspiring Widowmaker mains. So I hope these help you out. So let's get to it. Well, most of you know, Widow can be one of the most deadly heroes in the right hands. But if you're watching this video, that means those hands aren't your hands. So the first thing I kind of want to go over is something that aspiring Widowmakers don't really know. I'm sorry. Even I know. I vouch for Widow mains and I want to be Widow mains. Go for it, but just know when to switch. Okay, that's one thing that most, like I said, aspiring Widow mains don't know. But I know you hate it when your team yells at you and screams at you and tells you to switch and makes you want to cry a little bit. But sometimes it's for the greater good. Like examples of when you should switch. Say the point is past 50%, or if it's a payload map, it's second checkpoint, and you have maybe 1 or 2 picks, but mainly deaths, sadly. Another way to think of when to switch is, say you're doing really good, right? You're doing fantastic. But then you start getting countered big time by everyone. They all go after you all at once. So, and you can't even leave spawn without, dying. Like, yeah. It's happened before. Don't think it hasn't happened, because it has happened. Yeah, like, yes, I know it hurts to be told that you're trash. I mean, sometimes you are, and you'll hear me call myself trash all the time because I know I can better myself. So yeah, it hurts to be told you're trash, but it's best to go something when you desperately need it, to secure that win, to get that SR. Hopefully it's an easy SR. But try May. She can still snipe with her stupid little icicle thing, but she can also hold the objective really well. Unlike Widowmaker, who's really not supposed to be on point, but most of the time we're on point because we think we're badass, but we're not. So, one thing, do not play her in competitive until you are comfortable. I mean, look at me. I've got 166 hours of her in quick play. It's just, the reason I want to give this as a tip is so you feel good, you know what to do, you know how to handle certain situations, you feel her, sounds bad, real bad, but it's the truth. You want to know what you're doing before you risk it all. You might not know what you're doing, go into comp, go down to bronze. Yeah, it's never good to not know what you're doing. Like, it's kind of like any hero, you always want to practice. Like, practice makes perfect, like any other hero. Like any hero, also warming up. You always want to warm up. But do not warm up in quick play. I know I just said you want to get comfortable with them in quick play, but getting comfortable with Widow versus warming up in quick play is two different things. Like, just two different things. You usually see me in Widow free-for-alls, headshot only, or the training range, and that's not for the Widow free-for-alls. That's not for me to practice killing Widows, because it's not going to be a Widow every game. there's not. But it's just to get a feel of hitting those headshots for 200 health heroes, because we all know you could headshot a Roadhog and he still won't die. But yeah, it's like I said, it's not for killing widows. It's just trying to get your aim going, you know, trying to get the swing of the aim. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. You know what you guys know what I'm getting at, though. Something else to learn is learn the styles of aiming. Most of us know that there's tracking and flicking. Tracking is simply, the best way to put it is to predict where an enemy is going to land or move. And then flicking is, I don't mind flicking, but it depends for me. Like, they can't really give you a confirmed kill, let's just say that. I mean, you can get kills, but yeah, are you sure you're gonna get one with flicking? You never know. But it's best to use flicking. An intense team fight is the best way I can say it. Like you're all fighting, it's the best way to distribute damage. And you might miss 20 shots, but man, you got that damage on the Orisa. You know, oh, the team's going in after the Orisa now that she's low. Good job. So some of you may notice, some of you may not. I kind of have I think everyone really has a mixture of both. But to balance it out, you either have more tracking or more flicking. I'm kind of like mediocre. And that means like, oh, I can see that Zen where he's gonna go. Oh, headshot. And while I'm able to see where that Zen's going, I'm able to flick that Tracer that's coming up behind me for a flank. I mean, my luck, I will miss 20 shots on the Zen, twist to hit that Tracer, hit the Tracer, and then the Zen's gone. That's my luck. That's so sad. So speaking of Tracers, knowing when to switch, I hate when I say when to switch, because I want you to practice, just not in competitive. Please, we need more damage. But, yeah, I usually only say that because I want to be Widow. I was actually asked one time to play Widow. I'm like, I got this team, I got you. I mean, we won. I think we won. That's besides the point. But your counters, you got Winston, Tracer, Genji, Diva, or really anyone with fast movement that can get you out of position. Fun. So, for Genji, you kind of want to study his movements, you know? Like, try to bait the deflect, know when it ends. Nowadays, you'll still see me, I don't count out loud, but I'll count in my mind, and I'll count it wrong. I'll get you baited, and I'll die by my own bullet. Then I'll gasp like nothing happened, like, oh, I thought it was over. How did he do that? I thought he didn't have it. I completely know what happened. I knew he had it. I got you baited hard. For Tracer, for new people, Tracers might be harder to hit, because due to like sensitivity and trying to see where they're gonna go, predict where they're gonna go. But either you're new to Widowmaker or an old soul like me, using sound cues is the best way to go against her, because like you can listen to her blink. She might, if you hear a blink on the left, she's gonna be on your left. If you hear a blink on the right, and she's gonna be coming from the right. Like, you could be completely scoped down trying to track someone and you hear a little blink. If you have really good headsets, you can kind of tell like how close, how far. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But it's always good to have a healer nearby if you know they have a Tracer. Yeah. So I'm not saying it's impossible to duel a Tracer without a healer, but it definitely helps because she can blink to a health pack, come right back, recall, also call out her recalls. Oh, Tracer, no recall, on me, left. That really helps the team, and sometimes your team doesn't listen when you say, hey, there's a Tracer after me and I need assistance. So for D.Va, D.Va. So some of you might know that if you've been playing Widow for a decent amount of time, that her crit spot is like on the glass thing on the front of her mech while using rockets while boosting towards you, and you're screeching. Just run around as much as possible and use your assault rifle. Reload while she's using a defense matrix. That's another good way. Excuse me. But when she doesn't have defense matrix, just spam your assault rifle. And then the time it takes her to jump out of her broken mech, you want to run. My boy, the scientist, Winston. First off, fuck off. I hate him. I despise Winstons. I just hate Winstons. The best way to kind of counter him is to keep an eye on your grapple. For the most of the time, you can really tell when he's gonna jump at you. You know, that eye-to-eye contact that you got going on. But so you're gonna be 99% screwed if he jumps at you and you don't have your grapple, because all he's gotta hold is a button and you're dead. But if a way to think of it, kinda, if you do have your grapple, his jump is 6 seconds. Your grapple cooldown is 10. This is what I mean. I know I already talked about Genji, but this is what I mean when just by studying his movement, his deflect. Now, of course, this was staged. I didn't shoot myself with deflect, nor did I try to bait it. Like I said, staged, but just count down when he uses it in your head and then take the shot. So sometimes counters can be a problem. Not all the time, but it's good to keep those in mind when facing one of her counters. So a technique I'd like to talk about is the jump and aim technique. This is usually used for close to mid-range. While jumping, you aim down your sights and you'll be almost to 100 scoped power. I think it should take about 2 seconds for a scope to get hit 100%. Depending on if it's a flat surface or if it's like a hill kind of, it'll usually, when you're jumping and aiming when you land, it'll usually hit around 80 to 94. Use those last little milliseconds to aim where you want your scope, and you'll get 100 charge. A lot of people ask me, why do you do this? Like in the heat of a battle, having as much movement as possible is key. But you don't really have to do this at long range. I typically like to play at close to mid range. Depending on who they got, I'll play long range. But you don't need to do it at long range. But if you're gonna be long range, keep moving around. Don't sit in one spot the entire time. If you sit in one spot, they can kind of predict that you're gonna be there again, and you don't want to do that because it's gonna be bad. You're gonna get Genji, you're gonna get the Winston, they're gonna get the Tracer, the D.Va. They're gonna all go up after you. I have memories. So I'm also gonna show you my settings, but do not go right off my settings. Don't, because yes, you can use it as reference. You want to use it a little bit lower, a little bit higher, kind of things like that. But here's some quick tips with Cherrieblossom. Yeah, that sound cheesy, I apologize. Just some quick tips before I get into my settings. 1. Do not stay in one spot, as I literally just said that. If you stay in one spot when you're long range, you will die. Number 2, do not ult and spawn unless like desperately needed. I don't think I will still do it just to help the team a little bit, but that means you won't be able to use it. So what's the point of having an ult if you can't use it? You know what I mean? 3, don't always go for trick shots. You won't always land a hit. You might get lucky, hence the word trick in the name of trick shot, because it's a trick. You know, you get what I'm feeling? Yeah. For number 4, call out who you got low. Like if there's a Pharah causing problems on your team, you body shot her, she's low, call that out. Also focus on one person at a time. Sometimes I won't even follow that rule. I know to focus on one target at a time so my brain doesn't get all mixed up, you know. I don't ever follow it, but I know I should. For number 5, once you're ready, try her and calm. Don't be scared. I used to be scared. Sometimes I still get nervous, you know? Yeah. I will think, oh my gosh, what if I do bad? The team's gonna yell. That's what I get for playing Widowmaker in gold for the first part of, you know, my Overwatch career, and then playing her in Toxic Plat. Oh, it's beautiful. But just don't be, like I said, don't be scared to give her a go. Just when you're comfortable could actually, you know, mean 2 ways. You know, when you're comfortable, you know how to play her, but if you guys don't know, I have like a gaming chair. I typically sit to like one side when playing Widow, just because like my brain is kind of wired to do that. So make sure you're not only comfortable with your skill level with her, but comfortable with you know, how you chillin', how you relaxing, you feel. Alright, so now I'm gonna show you my settings. So for my horizontal and vertical are both 77. Advanced, that's the same. My assist window size is 60. Off, aim assist ease in 50, 94, 0. I haven't changed any of these. I don't know what that does. I think it does something with the aim. If I find out, I'll put it in the description. Your reticle doesn't really matter. I'll just show you it just in case. But like if you saw some of my old videos, I had a large reticle, I had small reticles, I had a whole bunch of different ones, and then I found my perfect one. So if you want to go with that, you can. 94 for aim sensitivity, and 90 for, or not 90, 70, my bad, for my grappling hook. The relative aim sensitivity kind of changes with all of this junk up here with the aim ease in, the aim smoothing. It makes it faster, slower. That's why I said to not go off it unless you want to use that as reference. All these are the same except crouch and toggle crouch. Kind of the same deal with the whole movement thing. If you don't know, this is what regular crouch does. You just tap it once and you go up and down. Well, oh, 1 second. Where's she? Well, toggle crouch is you gotta press it twice. I didn't realize that this was like a thing. I was so shocked, and now I hate using toggle crouch. Especially, it comes in handy when you do Widow free-for-alls. So let me just change this back real quick. But other than that, those are my settings. Go ahead, pause it if you need to. I know I kind of went fast because I'm hitting the 20-minute mark here. Or gonna here. But like I said, do not go right off it because it will be faster, it won't feel weird. If you're newer, start slower with your sensitivity and work your way into it. For button layout, I haven't changed anything. Like I said, the only thing I changed was crouch and toggle crouch. That's a preferable thing or not. So yeah. So that's gonna be it. I hope some of these things helped you. If you have any other kind of questions you were hoping to hear in this kind of video, put it down in the comments and I'll try to respond with it. I will get the exponential ramp, all that stuff soon in the description. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, if you had a question that didn't get answered in this, please tell me and I will respond to your comment. I usually respond to all. So thank you guys.
Cherchez la femme.